You are entering the world of Master Shaman PaLiChee with PaLiChee Healing. We discuss here the universe, enlightened shamanism, and our world, informing the misinformed. Warriors blessings, everyone. This is Master Shaman PaLiChee coming out to you live today for our first airing of Dear Master Shaman PaLiChee Show, or in Hmong, ya chai ta tia ba shai gu Master Shaman PaLiChee Show na na ya. Để nay to tàu tuân nung nay cho nè non gây lù là do để giống một kiện bộ sáng bộ sủa ra chi cái nén dài thôi ya cho trả nay tuân nung tàu nên tàu từ sáu tông ya xa trâu bê bê ý chua dì bê xa xa nhớ trong tờ đại đua nay bỏ nọ. Whether you are on Facebook or YouTube, you'll see that the screen shows here on the video the number to call if you want to talk live for free to discuss whatever situation that you're in. This is our Dear Master Shaman PaLiChee Show to answer any questions that you may have on your spiritual journey, or whether it is a reading question. We'll do that as well. We'll pull up cards if necessary, do tarot cards or do zodiac sign reading, whatever it is that you need to connect to and that you are open to receiving today. We can also do healings if necessary, and then of course connecting to loved ones if you are in fact needing that right now, or if a loved one wants to come in and connect with you. This is a past loved one that has perhaps been in your life, and maybe perhaps you've been grieving over them for the last whatever years or a couple months, or maybe in a couple days. That has passed on. So this is an open time for you, public open time for all of you to come in and join me, Master Shaman PaLiChee, to help answer any questions with you. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Master Shaman PaLiChee with PaLiChee Healing. I've been out since I would say 2011 publicly, and 2009 since on YouTube. So it's been quite some time, and I'm here to just give you some support on your spiritual journey to help you gain some confidence in whatever that path that you're going, and perhaps give you a peace of mind if there's something that has been heavy on your hearts and soul in moving forward on your journey as well. Come on in and discuss with me what it is that you need, and I'll be happy to do that with you. The number is on the screen if you need to call in and talk. Ni hu tua tàu trâu xa trâu bê bê ý chua gì bê xa xa. Tụ number tờ nhớ trâu tờ đại đua này bỏ. Nhà này nhớ Facebook là do hạt tía nhớ YouTube dạo. So tàu trâu cũ do tên này sai cũ trâu lúc xí hồi nọ. Nên hòn tàu tua nói cũ rầu thì ý cũ tờ tua ua khó hạt tía cũ bá sai dài. Sai phai đỡ tàu trâu này số lên số tủ là bá tế nên cho lũ. Cũ yên ua nên tàu rầu trâu New Friday tại sĩ cũ ua chờ nó dọ. Nếu nó cũ ua khi nên nó trả lũ. Trâu lên từ là họ xa tua thàn ra cũ. Thả trâu khó kế, rong khó kế, đỡ khó kế hú. Là do hạt tía nên mua cho lù, là do ít sáng bầu xúa nên họ chạy chỉ lại, là nên tàu tua trâu cú dọ, tua cú trâu cú ấy tuân trâu cú thả. Cho kế hổ bê lúc nâng nó dọ. Kế nên nó nên yên mua cho kế. Tin nâng yếu mua mó mong kênh, yếu mua cho kế. Yếu tông cả. Nên nó cái kho, cái ba,แต่是所来中一叫这了去干弄，做做cái ba，แล้วก็nên nó sa tàu hạt tiền ya li，有，แต่rồi了ba了都看看到呀，了ba了都看แต่是，头了ba了都看这，แล้วก็ba nhỏ trở呀，ba nhỏ trở vì hạt tiền ya头，rồi ít giờ hạt tiềnอยู่เขาจะต้องอยู่ดอกกันดอกเก่า。mà nó chỉ chua chỉ toอยู่lúc cá cậu nó chế lờ lưng lờ tù yo tô lọ ba yu nó nè chế khó nó chế do tế yu ba tô yu lỡ nó chế chạy tô tiền yu cú mua tế khó tế rồi yu họ mua khó cái Charlie ấy họ ba tô yu tế xí do họ tế yu chỉnh ba tô yu tụ kênh nó chế yu ở tô và cho yu lưu hư chỉ li mong ít chế hài cho yu lưu hư chỉ ấy lọ ba cái tàu lọ thọ cái tàu cho cái ba lần thía cái tàu so ca tàu lư cái tàu cho cái ban đầu thiên ơi. Warmest blessings to all of you. I've been just talking in Hmong, in my native language, to the Hmong community, that in this life we can never always help ourselves, and that there is something out there, another resource out there that can help us, that can support us and bring us to another level of ourselves, of our higher selves, that is. I'm here to bring spiritual support to whoever that needs it. This is an open hour that I am willingly opening to whoever that needs spiritual support for whether it's dreams that you've had. We could do dream interpretations. There's also a need for, if there's also a need for a situation that you've been in and you don't know how to go about it, you don't know how to deal with it, how to cope with it, this is the place that you can come and feel safe to discuss with me here on our live talks. The number is on the screen. If you are just listening and you can't see the screen, it is 763-319-8377, and you're free to call that number during this live. We also do on-point soul readings for those who need it. If I find that that's something that is suitable for you at this time, I will definitely go deep into a soul reading for you to just give that to you, obviously for complimentary free. If there's a healing that is needed, come on in and call for that healing so that we can tune into your energy and clear that out for you. If there's divine advice that you're looking for, perhaps you need some divine advice on a situation, or maybe you can't seem to tap into connecting with your spirit guides. We can talk about that as well. And perhaps if there's a loved one, right, that needs connection to, that you've been feeling very saddened about or been going through grief, perhaps we can tune into that connect that loved one to you today on this show. Go share this post or this video to those that you believe that maybe financially are in need right now and they can't afford to go and, ask somebody else for help or find the resources. This is the hour that I'm giving everything away for those of you that are in need of it. As I was discussing, life has lots of things, lots of turning points for us in this lifetime. And we never know, like, the old saying goes, we never know who it is that we'll need to turn to for help. Perhaps it's a neighbor, perhaps it's our own enemy at times. And we must keep an open heart and an open mind to be able to set ourselves free so that we can turn to whoever it is that we need help from. Because perhaps you may have something that I may want and need some help on, that I may not be a professional in, I may not be the expert in, and perhaps I may have something that you may need in a day's time, right? Either today or a different day and time that you may need from me. And perhaps that's something that we can connect and help each other on. As we move further into the future, I see, and it's always been a vision of mine, that spiritual and energy is the key to our future, and that everyone is going to start utilizing spiritual and energy for through their conscious mind for whatever they need in the future. It is going to be the thing, the mainstream that is everyone's part of everyone's life. Warmest blessings, West Loic, joining us today. Good afternoon to you. If you guys are watching from wherever, please type that down in the comments or the post, the chat. If you're on YouTube, if you are on Facebook, type that out in the comments below. Where are you watching from? This is Master Shaman PaLiChee with Dear Master Shaman PaLiChee Show. It is the show to allow you to come in and discuss or just chat with me on whatever situation that you may be going through right now. But perhaps you are not sure, maybe you're not confident, or maybe that's not the word, but maybe you just want a second opinion on what you should do on anything that you are in and going through right now. So come on in and chat. If you guys are at work and you are on Facebook, then you can also type it in on the chat or the comments below what it is that you need, right? This is the moment. This is the hour of open talk with Master Shaman PaLiChee. Go share, go like, whatever you guys can do to support the channel and pay it forward. That is the thing if you want to move yourself forward spiritually as well. Today I'm also going to answer, and whenever a call comes in, I will stop to answer the call as I'm talking. But today I wanted to answer or respond to a post that was in a Hmong shaman group. And I'm going to pull up that question for myself here. I'm going to see if I can actually share that out here on the questions. If you guys want to call in, that's great. I will answer anything today for the hour until 4 p.m. I'm out here till 4 p.m. But I have something that I do want to talk about, and it's about it's about when people die. What happens to their spirit when they leave? That was the question. And I did want to share this out here with you on who asked this as well. So let me try to pull up whatever I can share here. So let me see. Let's see if I can share this with all of you. Let's see, we'll do it this way. So I'm going to pull up here, and someone had shared this post, or this in a post. It was in a private group, so I don't know if I should share exactly who said this, but I'm just going to share with you what they asked. So the question that was in the post, and I told this person in the Hmong Shamans group that I will respond to them in a live. And so I'm going to respond to this person in a live. The question was, when people die, when do their spirit or spirits leave? That was like the first question. And they also asked right after Qeng Tu Xia or Chopli or another event. And they also had asked another third question. And if we sent them to China or reincarnation, then how can they come back to bang on dishes? Okay. So that was their full post. Okay. So I'm responding to a Hmong shaman, a person in a Hmong shaman's group post. So I'm going to answer the first question. When people die, when do their spirit or spirits leave? My initial response to this person in the comments under their posts is, it is in my book. So if you guys want to learn about more and know more from a shamanic perspective or aspect about when a person dies, when does their spirit leave? And I'm guessing here he's asking when does it leave the body along with leaving the earth world, right? The middle world, we call it, or our earth realm. So I'm going to respond to this question today on this live. Unless somebody calls in and unless there's questions, in the comments or chat bar, then I'm going to respond to that. If you need a healing, if you need a reading, please go in and ask that through the comments or chat. I'll be glad to dive down into it and work on that with you or for you during this live hour. Okay? So, ba mu share, te ba mu like, ba mu ba one na gu ya. Mu khi cho ka cho ke na ka da lu do cho ling so tu ya tu mo tu chi mo tu cho nye tu mblo nu la si peng. Mu ba do cho ling so tu ya le tong ka cho ke ba yo shai hai shai pai la ya tia yo kho cho de kho ku kho to show ne na so tong chuan na ya la ya show YouTube thế là ya Facebook nó rồi này số linh số tủ nó ở này nó còn nó cũng ba lúc xưa đấy bao rồi bây giờ nên địa tế điện tu nó ya hay nên rồi ya hay nên xứ chỉ sai tàu thì có ya mong là ya thì mai ya xua là hay nên là si bệnh. This is help for anyone out there that needs help, that is genuinely asking for help, okay? On a reading, on a divine advice, connecting to loved ones, whoever it may be. In responding to the one question that I promised to respond to, so when people die, when do their spirit leave? Okay? So typically, when a person lets go and they get to choose, okay, whether they've been in a deep illness, whether they've been in a coma, whatever situation they may be at towards the end of that time for them, it gets to that end of the time, the person usually knows somewhat, their soul knows. And that person, when they actually decide, now if they weren't hit by something and like their lights go out through the injury, and they are still suffering somewhere in a coma, or maybe they're injured in a different place on their body and it doesn't, take them out, and they don't get to, their functioning is still there. The bodily functions is still there, but they still are hanging on. Then that person actually gets to decide if they want to continue hanging on or if they're going to let go. Let go means they're going to let go and just cross over. So when a person dies, this is from my own aspect and my experience, that person, for example, if they let go and they say, this is it, I'm done with this lifetime, they let go and their spirit then leaves the body, typically 50-50 immediately. And then the rest kind of comes along. So 50-50 means the soul that holds everything together in the body leaves immediately. But then there's also some things still lagging with the person. They've got different fragments of the soul that may not leave totally immediately. But the big soul part of that person starts to leave immediately. And that's the moment they decide that this is it, that I'm leaving, okay? And this doesn't matter if they've been injured somewhere on their body. It doesn't matter if they have been ill for a long time, or if they, the whole reasoning is that they got older, they're like 100 years old. It doesn't matter if they're young or old. But if they're at the end of that life cycle for themselves, then they're going to make that decision to drop the ball. Basically, they're going to say, this is it. I'm going to be leaving. And once they do make that decision and they let go, then a big part of them, their soul leaves their body immediately. Now, leaving Earth, leaving the middle world, is not always immediate, okay? And they may come and go as they please until things are set in place. Now, what does that mean? When things are set in place with the person that has just died, they have this transition period, okay? And the transition period per a person, now it's going to be a bit different for each soul, But in general, right, we can say in general, there is a transition period which can be anywhere from days to weeks or months, okay? And for some, depending on how they died, it can be years. And depending on how, if they had a proper funeral, if they did not have a proper funeral, could they have left earlier on if they had a proper funeral, right? That's the question as well. So for this question that was asked in a Hmong shaman's private group, and I said to them, this person, I'm gonna answer this publicly on a live. So they asked, does the person actually leave? I believe they're asking to leave Earth right after Keng Tu Shia or Chopli or another event. So I'm going to dissect this a little bit. So Keng Tu Shia nana, Guchie tu tining chokang no. The Shikuye tu nian neng ne yai, the ki the ka, der sheng der Shia. Keng in Hmong means there's an instrument that we use at a funeral. It's called the Keng, Q-E-E-J. Okay, Keng means a Keng is a funeral. It became a funeral instrument. Okay, per my spiritual guides information. But originally, the instrument of Keng was not a funeral instrument at all. It was actually an instrument of celebration to utilize for celebration, okay? But it eventually became an instrument utilized for funerals after a period of time. And then there's also different kengs for funeral, kengs for instrument for celebration, okay? It became this way after a whole ancestral, I will say, time period. So now we know the keng as a funeral instrument. This keng, a person, so for the right after keng tu shiana, it is his folklore-wise known that keng tu shia helps the oversoul to be released to get to the place where they need to go, okay, during this funeral procession. Okay, and this is a Hmong funeral, by the way, that they are asking about. So after Keng Tu Shia Ye Tu Chaito Hatia Tunda Nu, it doesn't mean that the person that the spirit that left, that is transitioning, it does not mean that that spirit then transitions, right? It already transitioned to the and crossed over, right? But and when we say crossover, it crosses over to the spiritual side, right? So left is the corpse, the body. But for the Keng Tu Shia, for that process, it's just mainly to say, here, you are directed to this place. Let's direct you and let us point the way and direct you so that you know where to go. But it does not mean that this spirit of the oversoul already knew where to go. It doesn't mean that it leaves Earth, right? But it just means that it got directed to know where to go. But they just call it by this name, okay, Tushia, because it is the procession that literally is officially saying that the spirit, the soul of this body has now left the body officially. Chopli is a totally different time of, and it's a totally different process, okay? Chopli is when the person dies, they don't leave, the spirits of their body doesn't leave Earth during Chopli. Now it can, but it may not, okay? It's supposed to in some cases, but it may not. Chopli means you're allowing the soul to be free, and not free from the body, okay, but free from the oversoul, okay, free from the oversoul. So Chopli na ye cha to tia ni ching chui tun chu, Okay, nyotoho lundiate no nyotoho earth. Okay, on earth there's a anju or soul. The oversoul is still hanging around, and the jobly is to supposedly help this part of the oversoul to be free. Free for what? To free them so that they can go do their community work, so that they can go and move on to the next phase, or that they can reincarnate if they are in need to. But all of these events or processions in the Hmong funeral, right? Now we're talking about Hmong funeral because it led to that conversation. So it's let's say that if you didn't do all these processions, could the spirit of the soul still leave Earth? Of course it could. Of course it could. But through the procession, it just helps to direct, and it helps to organize their transition. Okay. Without the processions of a funeral, whether it's a Hmong one that we just talked about, or whether it's a different culture's procession, the oversoul can still get there. Okay. I mean, the oversoul, the soul part of the person that had died can still get to where they need to go. But it will just be maybe more work, or it will be more confusing for them. Okay. And they may need some guidance. Okay. So when a body is left by the soul leaves the body, transitions on to the spirit world. That soul is very afraid. Okay. Because it's a whole new world for them, and they are afraid. So being a psychic medium, I get to talk with all these souls as they leave. And I'll say that the oversoul tends to stay here on earth and to maybe still give some help to their loved ones, and perhaps even reincarnate themselves into a baby or a child of some sort that is just being born within the family, perhaps. Sometimes that's not the case, but they may manifest themselves to come back because they love their dear ones so dearly that this can still happen. But others may choose to really transition themselves, right? They're not reincarnating yet, but they're transitioning themselves, and they want to just really clear everything first before they come back and reincarnate. Those who can reincarnate themselves immediately or almost within a week's time, there's only a part of them, not all of their soul. So this is only one part of their soul that gets to do this. This is the one that's the oversoul that possibly can do this because it is intelligent enough and it wants it bad enough. But if it doesn't and it wants to, go along with it, we'll say this in a way where it wants to go along with the skies, go into becoming energy of the universe. It doesn't want to come back to earth. It doesn't want to be a human being again. Perhaps this soul wants to really just explore the universe for a while. Then they go and they get dissipated. Their soul gets divided and dissipates into different sections. This is all in my book, okay? So I speak about this in the book. It is on Amazon and available there currently. If you want to go check it out, I also will throw it out here. And I'll just take a moment here to take a breather, right? The QR code for the book is on the screen now if you want to take a look. It is called Universal Laws of Mankind, a memoir and shamanic aspect from myself. It is a memoir, a teaching memoir, a memoir of the memories that I've had when I was a child up till when I wrote the book. And it talks about my experience of getting in contact with higher beings and going through different NDEs. If you don't know what NDE means, it's near-death experiences. And through these near-death experiences, I was taught, and it stuck with me throughout my whole life, spiritual teachings throughout my life. And that is why I became Master Shaman PaLiChee. So, in short, if you want to know more, go and purchase the book and read upon it. And of course, leave me a review on Amazon. So, I'm taking that off now, and we're just going to talk about things that one of the persons here came in and asked on the Hmong Shamans group. So, really, when a person dies, their spirit leaves Earth in different times. Not everybody's going to leave, not every person's spirit of the soul or soul gets to leave equally or equal times. Okay. Again, the funeral processions help to direct or redirect if they went into the wrong direction and transitioned on into a whole different direction through whatever means that intercepted them during their death. Then the processions help to bring the spirits of the soul and the soul back in alignment with their culture of this lifetime that they lived, and to redirect or direct them into a direction that helps them get to a reincarnation state faster than if not done. Now, for those that did not get a proper funeral procession, it will be difficult. It will be harder. It will be very confusing for the soul, for their soul to transition on and then not really know where to go. And then also there's this problem with hijacking souls. So we can talk about that another time. So I hope that that answered part of at least some of that question that the person had. They said that, and if we sent them back to China, and I believe I know what he means by that, sending, the soul part of a loved one, right, to China or to back to their home. I'm gonna accept this call. It's coming in. Hello, hi. This is Master Shaman PaLiChee Show. Warmest blessings. May I ask who is calling? My warmest blessings, Mai. Thank you for calling. What is your question today, Mai? You're on air.
Hi, Master PaLiChee. I thought I would call in before I have to go back to work. I just have a question that I've been meaning to ask. A lot of things going on.
Okay.
But first of all, who's that called? But to watch like what is just a general reading for my spiritual journey at the moment.
The what journey now?
My spiritual journey.
Oh, spiritual journey. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really feeling like a very frustration, a very big frustration energy from you on your spiritual journey, right? On a 0 to 10 level, your spiritual journey has been like a very deep, I feel like there's anger energy there as well, Mai. Almost like you're confused on where you need to be. Uh, Even though there may be some kind of a mentorship, is that correct?
Sort of.
Sort of like a mentorship there, but you're also trying to do some things yourself too, right?
Yes, definitely.
And it just feels like on a high negative 10 level that you've been knocking on different doors. I'll say this, knocking on different doors and it's just not happening, correct?
Yes.
So I'm going to take a quick peek on where this piece of your soul has gone because it feels like there's a very deep missing fragment of you. Does that make sense?
Yes, I feel the same way.
Okay. So let's take a look at that, Mai. Take a deep breath for me. Lo hai tia, cho ke lu, ja ko mo cho chia, Mai. có lu mênh mỏ đa niên đa gì đã có mua lo hạt tiệt có mua chu chia lở nó lại sẽ có một nhỏ cá ilusi hở like the respect lo hạt tiệt lu mênh mỏ nó chỉ there's some kind of respect or some kind of ancestral um need for respect that seems like it was stepped on or let stepped on a while back. Totally had the goji fu nia fu zi. And this could be nia zi on either side.
Okay.
Okay. Jane but no jane only vi had the mo I don't want to say it's disrespect, but I also feel like someone has done you wrong or wronged you.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then you did not have the courage to actually speak up for what was right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how it went about was that okay. They cannot affect the spiritual journey hang okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Is that fair?
Yeah, that does.
Okay. Chị mà nói chị do ít khó kỹ khó nhớ hổ chị ô thế ô chị cóจะปลีหมู่อยู่kế rồi ít cho kế hay thì anh chị cho lên thì có chỉ lúc có tụ kinh lợ nữa nè okay. I don't know if you could tie those two together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been told that was one of my lessons to learn is to learn how to love myself.
Right.
That was my homework.
Yes, yes. Chị thổ có ô thế ô chị trong đi nụ phim mù này nhở because at beginning it was more like oh someone maybe betrayed or miscommunicated something and took you in the wrong way, right? And then all of a sudden, and then it looked like as if you didn't respect them, right? So I'm just kind of painting a very brief picture here, okay? So, and then after a while, there was a lot of disrespect going on, like from you to them, and then now from them to you now, right? So it's like a whole grudge, okay? And this grudge now led to you now feeling as though you're not loved enough. And then it goes to now you are not loving yourself enough. Do you see that whole flow that came in? Can you kind of see that picture? Even though I'm putting it very briefly, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that all makes sense to you, correct?
Kind of.
Okay.
It's more like figuring out like who and what. And...
Yeah, it feels like it's more parental. Okay.
Okay.
You towards parents, parents towards you, and this could be on both sides, okay, of
Okay.
parents. Of when I say both sides, this is like whether it's husband or ex-husband, okay. There's someone that was there, spousal wise, and so it's both sides, okay. Thì mà nói có chỉ bảo lu nè lu gì thì mà nó sát bể sát đá, okay, ở là the ở sát ở to. Thì có hạt tiệt có有我一度能用有啥我都能写到写好了，就你这呀我了睇个只见呢，别的个都靠只见到，okay，so 你发发呢，so it's very things are in the way. There's obstacle there in the way. Thì mà nói chị này phát phát chị chú đi ít thật đấy ở có chỉ muốn nương thua cho cho nè, ấy ở còn nương hú hú nè, right? So it's very muddy, okay, very like hair that you didn't comb, okay? It's like this. Chị mà nói chị có yếu tố đó có là call nè ya, là call nữa có Lucia towards whoever you felt that did wrong to you. Does that make sense? Um,
That's very hard.
yes, it is very.
I'm not sure who it is.
It is very hard. Nên chỉ trong này nó cũng feel trong này tại sao nó ya, trong này có bộ mấy tu nhẹ bỏ.
I do.
Có relationship đó tu nhẹ bỏ nữa nè, như trong này chả đâu có.
At first, like, like, at first, my after a few years, I feel like our relationship has gotten a lot better. But I always felt like I never, like, I tell myself that, like I don't hold a grudge on how they treat Kumail.
Mm-hmm.
But to like actually like sit down and talk together and whatnot. We don't usually do that. Like we'll
Mm.
ask like, oh, how we know or Shane would know guy or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say our relationship is like the closest because we don't live together.
Mm-mm.
Then her religion belief is like Christianity, so she does not
Mm.
um like what my belief is.
Mm. 但是看到你估计要底下的 belief 它要你去底下的你去要给它，but it really just goes on to 下的对手投诉他那样，你应
Mhm.
每一下 judgment 了哈，讲了讲每一下 judgment 了跳，okay。So honestly, I'll say that. But at this moment in time, Jonica running away from something. Okay. For the last, it feels like 2, 3 months. It feels like no more a situation that you're running away from and it's on fire. Does that make sense? Ye ni turi de ya achi wa nu kuku de shi ka chi mu face kana ya. La ya mu ha de oh ku zhong ni na ye I would suggest, okay, highly suggest ha dia. Ya ka feel to ha de ni chin chen ka pa. Ni chi lu ka pa. La ya ha de ra chi na. It's really mainly between có thể nữ này nhỏ có thể có tụ nhập bò the she at the same time thì mà nói chuyện nhớ nữa có thể có tụ gì theo okay so nếu mà ít khó lòng đỡ này nhỏ when it comes to có thể có nhập bò thì she có tao mù hay nhân gia đó có nhập bò thì cú nó tao đi nó cú lúc xưa mà cú sao thì bây giờ có chuyện nhà cú này là do thì ổn định nè nè okay so it's good to have a confrontation like that. Uh, I don't see it as a confrontation. I see it as getting to honesty and just opening. But that's also if you feel a certain way towards her too. And you may have to be honest with her, right?
Mhm.
So my suggestion is to call kana na ya la ya te mu face kana min ji cha. But there's also a situation that you are running from. Is that true? Or don't want to
Um,
face? Like basically you don't want to face something. And
you
it's
know, um, I don't know if I want to say I'm running from,
mm-hmm.
because I'm currently in the process of divorce. So
Mm, mm.
I don't want to say that I'm running from it because I feel like it's a good
Uh,
change.
uh-huh.
Yes,
And it can be a good change for new opportunities, right? For you.
yes.
But there's going to be old things lagging. Do you understand? If some things
No.
are not taken care of or perhaps maybe
Mm-hmm.
even said, right?
Okay.
Mà nói chị giờ anything in the past, anything có move through that's not, it's best for you to move high khó tránh tờ na as how you felt before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everything like that. Đó có từ even có từ chính cái nhân tờ có bao nhân có từ nhiều bao nhân tờ là it's good to hide đó ya no. But with có spiritual journey, nó chị this has everything to do. Nó có spiritual journey how will you climb to the next level? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, cho nó
Mm-hmm.
chỉ alleviate nó chị có muốn chị yên nhọ thế nào?
Okay.
Yeah. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Thì nếu nó daily nó cho có without really deeply looking into it, but cho đi cho cú bỏ kia ta chỉ nó sẽ chỉ trong nó nhỏ. Thì
Okay.
cái nó chỉ muốn cho đi nó take a deep breath for me, Mai. And I know that you'll need to seek further, okay, for có cái guidance. Có guidance đó, ya ít có cái你要老多个晒天嘛要。但是考个等呢，这给我金个呢呢，你估计要得赔的。但是你要一个 struggle，但是你要一个我要把都个木头个和 next spiritual journey too. Does that make
Yes.
sense? Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's just not the right frequency.
Mm-hmm.
If you get what I'm saying, right?
Yes. It's not, and I,
Mm, mm. Thì nó chỗ có bảo lý nó chỉ cú cho hai tia họ rong chấp lại thì có đặc cá mù. If you're in the middle of everything right now, thì ni cho đi họ cú bỏ lại phái nó mà ya cuộc khí lại phái nó chỉ chính cho đi có run away là con chân trai okay mù nhỏ tí họ họ marriage này ya cái mình chân trai nhá rồi because các chị sa deal with it more okay that's why.
Yeah, I do know
Uh,
what to do.
I guess you start deal with it more, okay? Butเขาก็ had that running away 那这种一个 run away from 就 yeah what needed to be said, okay?
Okay.
That was
Okay.
not faced, that was not said. So if you don't say it, you don't get to say it, then perhaps there might be some kind of regret later, and there may be
Okay.
some kind of just this is preventing, right? There might be some
Mhm.
kind of a obstacle later too that you may have to face again,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
Because what needed to be learned. So,
All right.
yes, does that, if that all makes sense, please let me
Yes,
know out there as well.
that does make sense,
Okay.
and it answers all of my questions, and I could feel a whole lot better
Mm,
after knowing this.
yes, you're welcome. May peace of mind be with you, Mai. Warmest
Thank
blessings.
you. Mhm.
Mm,
Bye.
bye bye. That was Mai that just called in, and hopefully she will do good as she moves forward. All right. I have some comments here. Hello, hello. Hello to KLore11. Call in if you guys need something, some divine advice. I'm still here. We still are here till 4. Call in. If one person calls in, you may have to wait and call in, be the next caller. So whoever's the next caller can come on in. A line is open now. I was just talking about when people die. This is a question that came in through the Hmong shamans group, and they asked when people die, when do they leave? And we talked about the timing, and it's different for everybody depending on how the person died. You know, what kind of situation were they in? Was it a illness? Was it an injury? um, you know, how did they go? And with each different situation, that person's soul is going to leave and transition on a bit differently. Now, in general, every soul transitions on the moment the person decides they're still in their body, but they decide to let go. Okay. Or if it's not their decision and they get hit and everything in their body is at a dysfunction, then they cannot breathe. They obviously cannot function. So then they have to let go. They are forced to then let go of their body. This is the soul letting go of the body, right? So then the soul is part of the person, and the person makes that decision. They get that free will. So some people may argue, no, no, it's not their decision to let go at the end. They just end up dying. But truthfully, as a psychic medium, working through so many different um, persons that had left their body, souls that has left the body and transitioned on, and speaking with those that has been transitioned on, they transition on to, crossed over. In speaking with them, people that has caused themselves, did suicide, those that has left because of a car accident, those that has left this world due to a horrible, terrifying death like murder or homicide. There's so many different situations and different deaths, wrongful deaths that has occurred on this earth, and so many pass on and transition on so differently. So you can't say it is a standard everybody leaves right after, or they leave earth right after. Again, some souls may stay for weeks, months, or years, and some may stay for 20 years in the home that they were born in. If they died in that home, they may not ever leave, even with a proper funeral, because they just refuse. The soul refuses, this oversoul refuses to go, whatever that death was. And usually it goes very deep why they don't want to leave. their home, or they don't want to leave a certain property. So I've done real estate as a real estate professional for many years now. And as I go, and this is on a different profession, right, that I do and did before. Um, I'm still a real estate professional, but I don't do that much. I just refer people out because of my spiritual work. But when I did do that, I can feel different essences of the home, and different places and rooms where, if that home had a spirit that died there, I'll know immediately that that spirit of their oversoul did not leave. And they'll hang around or go and come back, right? And cause a little bit of a craziness to happen in the home, whether it's arguments, whether it is dishes banging, whether it's lights shutting off and on, or flickering lights. So there could be so many things happening in a certain property or home due to the oversoul not wanting to leave. Now, sometimes it has nothing to do with the human soul. It may be a pet soul. It may be another entity that is around, and it's not a human soul at all. So we have to figure out, what is this thing that's hanging around, right? What is going on with this light flickering? Was it my, let's say my grandma and grandpa that's coming to visit, or is it an entity that has come to try to give a response or some kind of a message, or maybe trying to scare the heck out of you so that you can leave the property and move out of there because it wants to what is it, live there itself. It wants to dwell the property on its own, no one there, right? So these things can all be a part of the property being haunted. So we go from people dying and spirits leaving the earth to haunted properties and things like that, because this person did have a question that says, how can they come back to bang on dishes, right? Well, when a soul leaves the body, they are split into many different particles, okay? Different energies that becomes, we look at it as particles, but they're really energies that has been split off, fragments, right? It's fragments of the souls. But how they can come back is the oversoul comes back because they were attached to you or your family. So they have the consent to come back, especially if someone in the family still misses them a lot and still grieving them. This oversoul that is your family member, your loved one, can still come back and bang on dishes. But they're banging on the dishes for what reason? You got to ask this yourself. Did something happen that was wrongful to them? Was there things that were not completed when they were still alive? And they're trying to come back and give a message to you, to tell you to do something, to find justice, to do something righteous for them. This can very well be the reason as well. Okay. So I'm at the 4 o'clock top of the hour. I'm going to stop here. And if you want to come back to discuss anything with me and call in to Dear Master Shaman PaLiChee show. And we are on Mondays and Wednesdays, 3 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is a free talk live on YouTube and Facebook. I'm hoping to still continue to be on Facebook, but YouTube is going to be the main go-to in the future. If you want an on-point reading, healings, divine advice, connecting to your loved ones that has passed on, then come on to the show, call in live. I encourage you and to talk with us live. Okay. I will be leaving now, and warmest blessings to all of you and to those that had also called, and that we can discuss further. If you have a question and you are not going to be not be able to be on Mondays and Wednesdays with me, then you can email me at I'll write the email here. It is Master Shaman PaLiChee at info.falithehealing.com. So that is the email that you can email your questions, your situations to, and just put it to Dear Master Shaman PaLiChee Show. Okay? That is going to be Dear Master Shaman PaLiChee Show. I have a question. Okay? So you can do that, or you can call in live as well, and we will try to answer as many questions as we can within the hour. All right? Warmest blessings, and we'll talk soon. Bye bye.